T, Pike, and Steve-O, fooling on the pod. Talking about Bedford, which A-team is a fraud. Making top 10 lists, hella controversy. Don't be playing cheap, tuck in that jersey. Getting new sweatshirts, A-Division dub. Tune in every Tuesday, drop a like and sub. Hey.
Welcome to Tambo time. Ben, what episode are we on?
36.
Wow, 36. All right. So today, Steve-O is not, he's here. He's playing Fortnite, correct, Ben? Is that what you told me?
That is correct.
Wow. He's playing Fortnite currently. That is all we know up to this point. Wow. I can't believe it. I'd love to hear what he has to say next week. Is he even here next week? Is it? Or?
I'm guessing they're probably in the Worlds next week.
Okay. All right.
His last week before Worlds, and he misses the last
Wow, I
2
know.
weeks
What
in a
the
row.
hell? What is going on, man?
And he's playing 2v1 against Nick.
Yep.
Nick, Tim, and Kenny.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Wow. Oh, so he's playing with them right now.
Yep.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Who is he? Can't be that good, right?
No,
and now
I was
look, I'm not
watching.
even like trying to like. I just can't see it, and it's no disrespect. I'm not even trying to be like. But I can't imagine him, just sweating over there, just dominating people. Were you watching him? Is he all right, decent?
He's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick,
He's probably better than
clearly
me.
the better player.
Yeah.
Did you ever play video games with your dad or anything like that?
No, not with my dad. No. I mean, maybe like, is that what you said? Is that what you said?
Yeah. With your dad.
No. Maybe like Wii and stuff back in the day, like the Wii Sports, but nothing like.
Nothing crazy.
No, nothing like this over here.
Yeah. We used to play Halo with my dad.
Yeah, really?
And we used to
that's
do
funny.
2-on-2. I have 2 younger brothers. So
Oh, yeah?
It was always the best of us and my dad. So it was either me and my dad
Yeah,
or my
yeah,
youngest
yeah,
brother Matt and my dad
Yeah.
against like the 2 middle. My
That's
dad would be
funny.
shooting the wrong team.
Yeah.
He was really bad. So it was basically 1-on-2. But yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what Steve's like when
Oh, probably, dude. Probably.
Adam's like, oh, I need one more. I guess I'll ask my dad.
Yeah. So today we got. We're gonna go through the remaining of Cap's top 20 two-way players. We did 11 through 20.
Yep.
We're gonna go through the top 10 now. First, we'll recap the 11 through 20.
Yeah, I kind of flew by it the other day.
Yeah. We went by pretty quick. We were in a little bit of a rush, but we'll go through. We'll recap the top 20 and then we'll get into the top 10.
Yeah. So looking at it, I mean, I can always move, like, depending on the week, some of these people could be top 5 players.
Sure. Yeah.
It could be 50,
Yeah,
like some of these players,
seriously,
it could be all over the place. But I had Joe Haftel on the Guppies and Leapers at number 20.
Yep.
I had Jamal at number 19, plays corner for the North.
Yep.
Jay Burris at 18, who plays DB for everybody.
Yeah.
I love Jay. And then I have Gavin at 17, who plays for Primetime now.
So I think looking at it,
I heard Bad Batch is coming back too.
Are they?
Is he?
Wow.
Is he one of the Bad Batch kids?
I believe he is. As far as I'm concerned, I think he is. But looking at this list, it seems like every player, I would even Gavin, are A division players.
Yeah.
Like you're not looking at anyone like, oh, he's really good in the B division. You know what I mean? Although Gavin does play in the B, it's his team and not really him. You know what I mean? That's down there. But so.
Yeah, there's like some honorable mentions. So like Dave Hamilton, I was messaging with him. I think on he commented on the post, but he's a top talent player. He's similar to like my talent level somewhere in like the 15 to 20, 10 to 20 range. But some reason, what are they, shotgunners or war dimes? They never really play anybody.
No, I know.
We played them once and we beat them by 30. Like it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, they do claim that they have asked, right? But
yeah. I mean, Jimmy will listen and then he'll forget about it.
Yeah. If you're not on him every week, it's like
exactly.
It ain't gonna happen.
You got to make sure you ask him on the right day.
Sure.
It has to be like the Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Or the Gavin, and then after that I had Booth, who rushes for the Gumbies and plays everywhere for Zoom.
Yep.
Franklin at 15, who plays Mambas on Monday and then the North on Wednesday. I have Kevin at 14, who plays for whoever he thinks is going to have the best chance of winning. No, he hasn't asked to be a Gumby yet. Well.
Right.
No. I love Kevin. Kevin's good. I have Kevin at 14. I have Trey at 13, plays safety for the North. And Mambas, again, one of those players that could be top 5 when he wants to be and then could
I'm telling you,
sleep a game.
when he played us, man, it's hard to argue that he wasn't a top 5 player.
Yeah.
But there's weeks when it's like you don't really know which version of him you're getting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like some weeks he's good, some weeks he sucks. It's which weeks is he putting in the effort?
Yeah.
But he came out to play against us, and obviously if you get that every week, he's a top 5 player.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then there's
it's
games.
Just tough. Consistency.
I remember he was playing for Steve, and he would drop maybe a ball a game, something like that. 2 balls a game, something like that. But I mean, there's times that he also jump balls kids with one hand and like. Has insane hands, but there's other times
Trey
he's not the most consistent.
Yeah,
it's all over the place.
No, sure.
He ripped the ball away from me.
Yeah, I know.
That hurt.
Trey came up to me. Let Ben get in.
We got Kevin McDonald has a response to comments here.
Oh God, here we go.
In quotes, take a chance on me.
Always take a chance.
So
on Kev.
Trey came up to me and said, he goes, "It's funny. Ever since I left Nasty Boys, they haven't won." So he brought that up. So that's funny. And honestly, I was thinking about it today. Like, that it could be a very valid reason as to why they haven't won. If you don't have somebody on offense that is a true solidified wide receiver 1, which is what he is for them, if you take him out, you don't have that in that offense anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got 4 guys that Steve loves working with, whether it's Bud, Tang, whoever, right? Derek. But Trey is like, he's a guy that can stretch the field vertically. He's fast. He's got good hands. Great jump ball guy.
Yeah.
You take him out of an offense, you lose a whole element to it, right?
Yeah. Just stretches the field. So I thought Derek's like a great receiver, but I mean, I hold him. He's gone past me a couple times deep, but you don't really think about him as a deep threat. It's
sure.
The 2-yard hitches, the drags across the middle, stuff like that.
And Trey is just, I think. It's a whole nother league with him.
Offense.
I thought there was a lot of truth to what he said. He might have been joking a little bit, and it's not. They don't not win just because he's not there. You know what I mean? It's not like their team goes through him, but
their defense is missing people too.
Exactly. But you miss that guy, that true solidified wide receiver 1 on offense, like. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it shows. You know what I mean? Like I think there's a little bit of truth to what he said.
Yeah. Who do you think their best Nasty Boy offense is? Like who's on the field? With obviously Steve.
Yeah.
And then who else are the next 4 guys?
They like Bud at center. So and then, are you talking all time or are you talking like
the last 2 years maybe?
Last 2 years.
Yeah. Because I'd say that's probably when they've been at their best.
Trey, Carter. It's tough. That last spot's tough. And Derek, I think that 5 right there is their offense.
I'd agree.
That
you could put Carter at center and maybe someone else.
Sure. Slot, in all those, in some of those guys, they have guys like Adam too that are great off the bench, even great starters. You know, so.
It's crazy to think about how much depth.
I know.
Having
it's
Adam be like your next guy.
They got Kevin and Connor on the team too.
Yeah.
It's like 2 rushers, and you can only play one of them.
Yeah.
So. And obviously their defense, we all know how good that is when fully healthy. Kenny at linebacker, Kevin rushing. Maybe Tang, Adam, and Jay, right? So we all know how good they are. That unit is when they're fully healthy.
Agreed. All right, so I said Trey. Carter, I have at number 12. I got a lot of hate for this, but I feel like I talked up Carter pretty good. I love Carter. He's one of my favorite people in the building.
It is tough. It really is tough, honestly. Again, we haven't seen the top 10 yet, so it's hard to say. Yeah. I'm not going to sit back and knock it too much. I said I think you could, anyone could argue that he could be in the top 10. No one's saying that he can't be.
Yeah.
Right? But
there's games you can bump him out of the top 20.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll. I don't think he was getting slept on. I think 12 is somewhat fair. I mean, again, we'll look at the top 10. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll say who I think he should be over in the top 10 once I hear it. But again, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't.
Yeah, you'll have to
get into it too much.
Yeah, agreed. So then I have 11. I have Dylan, who's the rusher for 90 D. He's also plays some center for them.
Yep.
All right, so that is the top 22-11. And again, I think I said already, I could see myself mixing that. Like, if I did the list tomorrow, I could have gave you guys a different list. Like plus or minus 2 people. Like I think basically it's pretty darn close to what I think the top 20 to 11 is. So, all right, so I'll go from 10 to 9 now.
Let's just tap into this post real quick.
If you want to pull it up.
Yeah.
And then
I'll rip it up.
Ben, do you have are you able to do 10 to 1 on the screen? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have 20 to 11 right now?
Yeah, I have that up.
Oh, jeez, this guy's good.
Look at Ben.
People sleeping on Ben. Ben was the first one here today for the first time.
First goddamn one, and I was the last one, but we still weren't. I didn't feel bad though because he wasn't fully ready.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I wasn't holding anybody up.
Yeah. Give yourself a round of applause, Ben.
I had to set up the whole thing, and I didn't even know Steve was going to be on here. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Steve lives here, and Ben still beats Steve here probably.
And I set us up on video using like a 15-year-old webcam because the other one broke. So.
He used to use that for like Omegle and MySpace probably 20 years ago.
No, it's actually for work.
It's for work. Oh, never mind. Maybe he didn't do that. So allegedly.
Allegedly.
Jay Charles commented disrespectful to Carter, right?
Yeah.
It got 12 reactions. So he resonated with what other people thought a little bit, right?
Yeah. But people love Carter. Carter's a great dude.
No
he has
doubt.
So many friends.
And Junior commented the same thing, similar. Trey said, "Can't wait to see the top 10." I'm assuming he's saying, I'm better than a lot of people who are going to be in here, right?
Yeah. Which again, as we said earlier, he could be on a different day.
So well, and then Kenny obviously laughed. When people laugh, I always wish they would just kind of complain of say what the problem is. You know what I mean? Because laughing at it's tough because you don't really know where the issue is, where the issue lies. You know what I mean?
I'm fine with constructive criticism.
I'm gonna assume he has a problem with Booth being at number 16. That's just fine, a guess, and I don't know. But I don't know. I
love Booth, and even Booth said he was like, "You might have put me a little too high." I was honestly, looking at it, yes, I probably did.
Yeah,
I could probably put Booth at 19 and then move everybody up one. Yeah, move Gavin to 18, move everybody else up one. It depends on the day though. Gavin could be a top 5 player, like when he's throwing and running really well, or he could be 25 if he's playing bad. But all right, everyone, we ready for 10?
We are ready for goddamn 10. We have entered the top 10. How many people are watching right now?
We got
a couple?
No, it just dropped 4.
Wow.
No, it was like about 10.
Okay, that's actually not bad. That's better than I thought. I thought we were going to be like 3.
It's gonna drop even lower once I say 10.
Oh god, here we go.
No,
top 10. We have now entered the top 10 players, two-way players in Bedford. So this is big. This is a league company here.
Yeah. So I have Vance, who people are gonna hate that I put him that. Is it low? Like not higher on the list. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, he's one of the greatest all time in the area. Like him and Deuce are 1A, 1B at like New England flag football. But honestly, until this session, I haven't seen him in Bedford in a while.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a while.
He's playing with Entity, so they haven't really been clicking well. So I mean, I haven't seen him play too much defense. He plays defense, I guess, but I don't know if he just doesn't play as much. But I mean, it's tough when he's not.
I mean, you got him in the top 10, right?
He's at 10, and if he played with Nasty Boys and played A division teams every week, he'd be right back in the swing of things and probably be around the 5-ish range. So, number 9, Vance plays on Entity, I think.
You did.
Number 9.
Before we go there, Kenny says Vance at 10. Nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
which Kenny? Big Kenny Richards?
Kenny Richards.
Okay, that's fine.
And again, everybody. It's tough to make a list that everybody likes.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like trying to draft people right now.
Hard, bro.
Obviously, if you're trying to do career.
Sure.
Deuce,
everything.
Vance, those guys are obviously the top. But I'm saying right now. Right now, who I would want if I was a quarterback picking a team for Best of Bedford or something like that.
Kevin says Vance is helping out that team. A lot of talent. He's getting them better.
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
Sure.
But he's definitely makes that team better. Obviously, he makes any team better. He makes Nasty Boys better, Gumbies, whatever team he plays on. He makes
insert him
better.
anywhere. You know what I mean? Immediately.
And 10, everyone says 10 is so disrespectful, but at the same time, there's
300 plus players, right? So it's hard
30
to be
teams
in that,
with 10 people on each team, and Mondays too, and you're the 1%er, 1% of the league probably. Whatever
it's hard.
It is. So number 9, I have Tangway, who has been playing really well on offense lately. I've been seeing makes a lot of contested catches. Great corner as well. He was playing on Nasty Boys last time I saw him, but they're taking a session off.
I seen him some on one team. I don't.
The North maybe. Or
I think he played with.
He played with Junior.
I believe so. I believe it was Junior.
Is it Stick Talk? Is that what they
something like that? I don't know the name exactly, but yeah, he's
he's in the building. I mean,
he's definitely a top. I would say he's for sure a top 10 player. Yeah. He's tough to throw against, and like you said, he's better on offense than he has been in the past. So
yeah.
I don't have an issue with him coming in at number 9. Ben, you need to hop in here?
Yeah, Kevin says Tang is still somehow underrated offensively wise.
He is. I agree actually with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, honestly, like he's a great corner. And he might be better on offense than he is on defense.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But, number 8, I have Nick Cutler. So, I mean, some people could say he's higher. Some people could say he's lower. He can play any position. I mean, he's been playing quarterback this session for the Leapers. It's not the best session we've had, but I mean, he can literally play any possession, makes people miss. He's fast, aggressive, physical. Like
good jump ball guy too for not being too big. You know.
Agreed.
He reminds me a lot like Carter, right? Just the build and in the play style. Of it. So and Carter's what at 12 and Nick's at 8. So you got him they're in the area, right?
Yeah. I think Carter's probably a better route runner. Nick is. I think
he runs
faster.
Sure.
Probably has
maybe
more
a little bit more physical too, but
exactly.
No, they're very close in terms of like play styles and stuff like that.
Agreed. Nick plays for Gumbies and Leapers. Yeah. So
and he is really the
for people that don't know. I'll figure out throwing every team just so.
He might not be the feature guy on either team, but he's when you think of these teams, you're thinking of him. He's one of the first names you think of, right? So
yeah.
No doubt. Ben, if you have anything to say at any point, just chime in.
Yeah. And then number 7, which I guess maybe controversial, I have Jeff Andon, the guy for Slipstream, Nasty Boys.
Yeah.
Literally the fastest guy I've ever seen. Like it's crazy. Like I've seen track meets. I've seen I played college football for a year, but like he is faster than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I watched him play a session with Steve, right? And it was when we played him. I think we beat them in the championship this particular time. He just didn't use him right. Like he was there, he was a non-factor. He didn't get him the ball. I mean, and like Steve, if I trust anybody to get somebody the ball in space, it's him, right? Design a play, figure it out. And he had, he may have had a target or 2. That's it. Like for someone that of his caliber and his speed and his playmaking ability, like. You got to get him the ball in space. Find a way. Figure it out with and playing us. You're facing zone, so there's holes out there. You just got to find them.
Yeah, and I think he had a good game against the Leapers, and the one the Leapers beat Nasty Boys in the championship. He had 2 deeper touchdowns. I think he actually wasn't just jerking around people, spinning around.
I think he's probably on the lower end on this list in terms of defending. I don't think he's but I think he's fast, and I think he can make up for a lot of It's
similar to why Kevin's on here. I mean, like having that one thing
exactly
that
right exactly
that's so much better than everybody else. You know what I mean? But
for sure.
Like if he's a 99 on offense or like 99
exactly
speed, then he's like a 75
on
offense
exactly
or 80, or a defense.
No, I know what you mean. Definitely.
He's I mean, great player. Plays for Slipstream. Plays for Nasty Boys. I mean, these guys are all A players. Like a lot of these guys, I can look at the list again at the end. But I mean, I think all these guys are A players, or if they're not, they should be picked up. And Steve's probably picking them up as we speak. He's on the phone calling people.
Exactly.
Next one, he doesn't have to pick up. He already has him. Number 6, I have Adam Tambo. Obviously, great all-around player. Shifty. He's a lot like Nick. I mean, can play every position. Can do everything. Can throw the ball, run the ball. Like baller at safety.
Just
can play
back
corner.
To the swing of things now too. Coming off the injury, getting ready for the big one. So I have no issues with. I have no issue with that.
And he's fun to play with. Like I've been playing with him this session with the Leapers, and he's just like he talks a lot. He's really just really really smart kid.
Smart for
I don't know where he gets it because Steve is dumber than dumb, right?
Oh, that's a good one. But that's a good addition to that defense over there, even if it's temporary, right? You get him and Jay.
Agreed.
Obviously, with Colin's been in and out, right? Just with doing whatever, but. It's good to plug them 2 in, and you don't really lose too much of a step on that defense. Obviously, last week was tough, but who doesn't have those games, right? I mean, our game wasn't any better, right? So I have no complaints with that.
Yeah, I didn't really even. So now playing the game, I felt bad. I was hurting.
You're good. But no, it happens to everybody, all the teams. Yeah. So now Ben, are you caught up here? Are you updating us as we go or no?
I am generally. I'm looking now.
Okay, good.
There's a couple comments, seeing what's.
I think everyone could probably guess my top 5.
Hold on,
but I don't know if anything crazy's coming.
Yeah, there's just a little back and forth on what the list actually is.
Top 20 two-way players in Bedford. So both sides of the ball. If you're Steve, like, you're not going to be on this list, Steve Tambo, because you're just a quarterback.
Exactly.
Like, you're not playing defense.
Tough, maybe if it's most valuable, it's different, right?
Yep.
Because
I probably could put Garrett, the Leapers quarterback,
I was
on here.
actually thinking that earlier. I was going to say.
Because he's a top. No doubt top 3 quarterback. And then when he rushes, he's not Kevin, obviously, but he is like lanky and long.
He has flashes like him, right? So
yeah. So he does some
maybe
stuff
not
both
consistently, like him, but you get it.
That's why the Leapers were so good when we had like 6 people. Because Garrett would rush the whole game. He'd play quarterback. It was nuts. Like those were fun times.
Yeah.
But
Ben, you want to get in here?
We're all too old to do that now.
The whole question was kind of spawned Anthony Williams. Like, you guys are drunk if you think anyone on this list is better than Jamal Woods.
Okay, so finally, I'm actually glad. Anybody is wild.
Yeah.
But I am glad someone stuck up for Woods because everyone took issue with Carter being a 12, but nobody said anything about Woods being a 19. And Woods is. I think Woods is top 10 for sure. Like, that's just where I put him. Corner 1, maybe 2 in the league. So I would put him at not top 10. So I don't know if I said 1 on accident.
You said top 10.
Top 10 for sure. I don't know. I won't go as far as to agree with him as in nobody's better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's times he could be a top 10 guy.
Sure.
I just think, there was times maybe a couple years ago that he was clear top 5 guy. But I don't know, man. I don't like. It's weird. It's weird judging people and talking about them, but not wanting to start shit. Like,
it's
tough. There's times that
this is hard, man.
Like at DB, like Jamal's lost a step. Like he's probably he's like maybe 40 something. I don't know his age, but like I'm not trying to talk shit about people. I'm not trying to
it's not
start shit.
Yeah,
you know what I
but
mean?
I think even now, in the way he is, I think he's he's right there with. I won't say the name, but fighting with that other corner for that top spot. I think 1A and 1B with them two, and I think offensively he's a little underrated. Honestly, I think he doesn't get talked about too much.
That's true.
But I mean it is what it is, and not everybody is gonna agree with you, and you know it.
Yeah.
You've done this before, so you got it. You got it.
Fine.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I could definitely see him at 10. I could see him at whatever 6. I could see him at 19 where I put him. Like
yeah.
I mean, not everyone can be a top 5 player. Like, I can't have 20 people tied for number 5. You know what I mean? Like, I have to say what it is. But which Ant Williams? Like Dre and Ant?
I thought he said Austin. Like,
did he say Austin Williams?
I think so. I could be wrong though.
Ben, do you know who said that?
Anthony Williams.
Okay,
Anthony. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Is that Dre's brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He had a couple follow-up comments.
Sure.
If I get to him, he's like. He's basically saying it's a top defensive player in Bedford.
And I'm not gonna sit back and say that I think he's totally wrong. I do think there's maybe 1 or 2 players better than him on the defensive side of the ball in Bedford.
Yeah.
But again, then we're talking 1 and 3. I'm not gonna get into it too much over why he's not as good as who I think is the best. You know what I mean? It's close, right?
And I think he was thinking too, like in one of his other comments, he's thinking like it's all time Bedford, but it's current. Who's active?
Sure. Yeah.
Two-way.
No doubt.
Because Ant's probably on that list if it's all time.
Yeah.
So.
And a couple people in the comments like Kenny and others are kind of filled them in there too. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me know if there's anything good at all there.
Yeah, please, Ben. We're here for the comments.
Yeah. I mean, Jamal's. I felt bad. I left him off the top DB list. I'd slipped my mind for some reason. I think I left him and Franklin off of it, which both are
I know.
Jamal probably is a top 3 DB in my mind.
Yeah, I would
defensive
say I would
player.
put him at 2.
He said no offense, but having Adam higher than Tang and Van is wild.
Says who?
Sam Anthony.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he hasn't probably played against Adam in a while.
Okay, so he's saying having hold on. He's saying having Adam above Tang in Vance is incorrect, essentially.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, depending on the day, like you could put both those guys.
And again, so Adam, the thing with him is he's undersized, right? Those other guys aren't. So like, if you were to talk to if you were to ask, I've asked one specific receiver that I've played with before many times. I said, who would you rather go against, Adam or Tang? Mm-hmm. He says Adam every time because Tang is bigger and more physical, and you right. So Adam may be the better player, but you don't want to deal with that physicality, in that height, and you get things. It's just tough. It really depends on who you're talking to. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And everybody thinks something differently, right? So it's tough.
We have a couple non-list comments.
Oh, here we go.
Danny Cruz. Pike put the hat back on.
Oh, no hat.
And then Kevin says he took no cap literally. And then Danny's like, depending on the day is crazy. I don't know if that's a response to that or not, but.
No, I mean,
Danny says, I'll never ask to see the hat off.
Finally. No, but depending on the day, like, I get why they're saying that's crazy. Like, I think this is. Like, consistency-wise...
This is going to be tough.
If they play consistently, that's where they are. Like, obviously, there's days that, like, I can go off and be a top 5 player,
And now
there's days that I can play like shit and be a 200 player,
And
like,
now you're talking... So now...
But I can't say, like Trey played a great game against the Gumbies a week ago. I can't say that's his...
If he shows up like that every week...
Like, he's not...
I mean, the kid is...
If I see him do it again, then I'll bring him up. But I mean, I've seen him do it once or twice. You know what I mean?
I don't know where it came from. I don't know what. Something happened, man. He's got beef with us or something because I've never seen that trade come out anywhere. You know what I mean?
Sees Nasty Boys out, so maybe he thinks a championship's up for the.
Maybe. I mean, maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. But all right, I'll go to 5.
So now we're entered the top 5. So this is
which I'm gonna get so much hate for.
Now this is goddamn elite company here. To be top 5 is crazy. Now, Ben, how many viewers do we have?
14 to 16.
Okay, yeah. So you're gonna get hate, but
that's fine.
What are you gonna fucking do?
This is why I'm here.
Here we go. Top 5. We have entered the top 5.
Number 5, I have one and only Cam Loring.
Wow.
And I'm gonna get so much for this. I'm gonna get so much trash for this. But look at the Gumbies before Cam and Pike and after Cam and Pike, and like. Our defense has gotten so much better. Obviously, like, not that you don't help the defense, but obviously staying on offense makes it so the defense is off the field more. But Cam, like, makes our defense 10 times better. And that's not even bringing in that he is your number 1 target on the best offense in the league, maybe? Is that whatever we want to call it?
Maybe before this session. I think I'd allow that, but I'll give
maybe not right now.
You're against the pushback.
Oh,
but again, I'll say real quick. So, I mean, to make the tough catches, good route runner. I mean, maybe it's just a connection, but like he makes Adam look bad sometimes. He makes Jay look bad.
Sure.
And those are 2 like top 10 DBs.
Again, a lot of times with Jay and Adam, it's a little different because
I get Cam's bigger.
And we'll be in the huddle and I'll be like, Cam, like, can you run at Jay? Like, cover face, and I'll throw it. I'll give you, like, a jump ball almost. Yeah. Really only when we're backed up. And, a lot of times we have that ability to do that. If we can get that one-on-one matchup, we'll take it every time. You know what I mean?
But Jay isn't a slouch. You know what I mean? Like, like you're not targeting Jay. You're not like, I want you on Jay. But at the same time, like, he can go up and get balls. He can go up and do things. He can guard people really well.
He comes back into the play
physical.
No doubt.
I'm not going to complain about it. I mean, I do it. Every team does it.
All right, Ben, let's get.
All right, Ben, here it is.
All right, here we go. Kevin McDonald. Good night. Cam Loring, top 5 is crazy.
Now listen.
And then you want to hear them all? Or you don't
Here it is.
All right, here we go. Let's see. It keeps jumping me down. Anthony Williams. Yeah, this podcast is done after that pick.
That's fine.
Kenny Richards, bro, I'm out of here. And then,
Kenny, feel better. Keep playing Fortnite. Bro, I don't know what they want me to say. Like,
and then Derek, it's political.
It's political.
I mean, then Kevin said another follow up. Where'd it go? There it is.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't care. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, it's no skin off my back or whatever. It is, neck or whatever.
Put Cam Loring on a C-level team and see if he makes that team better.
Doesn't he rush for...
That's tough. I don't know. Okay, so is that the measuring stick? Because that's a little different. I would have to, sit back and imagine putting Colin, Johnny, Cam, and whoever else is going to be on this list. It's tough to say, right?
Yeah.
It does matter who's throwing you the ball. It does, regardless of how good you are.
Agreed.
Right. So
I mean, you and Cam on literally any team, you guys are going to be an A team.
So it's tough to say. I don't know. I don't know if that's the measuring stick that I would look for. I mean, I'm looking at pure production from the A's, right? And
yeah. I mean, and some
again, what I say unfortunately pulls no weight in the situation on this particular player.
Yeah.
I would
agree.
I don't hate what you say.
Yeah. I mean, I've thought Cam was a good player for a while, and I thought he was around the 10 range. I want to say last time I said 11 or 9.
Sure.
Last time.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Like watching him, I mean, everyone says Cam's getting the ball, like against the Gumbies, and when he does, like, it's complete. Like we won 2 out of the last 3 as the Gumbies, and no one's stopping Cam. If he's that bad, stop him.
Well, let's figure it out. I mean, where do people believe he should be on the list? Are we talking outside the top 10, outside the top 20? I mean, where? You know what I mean? Because if we're going to be like, oh, he should be 7, then we're complaining about nothing here. You know what I mean? But if they're saying 17, all right, well now now it's different. So it's tough. I mean, where do the viewers believe he is? I mean, in terms of top. Whatever, right? Yeah. So it's tough to say.
And Ant is basing it more off of tournaments.
I'm
imagining.
Knows who he is. He might not. That's just Cam. He doesn't play, in all these. So he may not even know who he is, right?
Yeah.
He might though.
Which is fine. Like tournaments wise, like Vance is on a different level at tournaments. Deuce,
no one's.
Jamal
plays. Comment getting a little traction. Kevin says my definition of a top 5 player is they can be put on any team and make it better.
I mean, obviously, he would make every team better.
I think that
he can play safety on any team and make it better. He could play wide receiver. I mean, I'd imagine anybody could throw him the ball.
You'd hope. Right?
How does is it Jake, the bigger guy?
Jake.
Does Cam play offense?
He does it at times. It's much different with that team just because the competition's we're not playing us.
So I mean Cam's relaxing. So he's not grinding.
Obviously, he could get the ball every play in those games, but that's nothing. His level is above that, so it's not.
So there it is. Cam on what session were you guys last? Or what league? B2.
We were B something. I believe it was B2. I think
we lost the championship in
B2. Yeah.
Slipstream, who should be an 18.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you didn't throw?
I didn't throw. No, not that session. No. And this session I only threw the first 2 because we played Natty East in the North.
So Cam made probably a C team, losing the B2 championship.
Oh, definitely a C team
against an A team.
And it's tough, right? I don't
know.
What are you gonna do? People disagree, and you will not be convincing anybody tonight that he isn't. You know what I mean? So
no, agreed. And I mean, maybe
it's all right.
I'm not going to change my list, but at the same time, like I can definitely hear, like, maybe he could be 9 or 7
if
or
Adam is 6, and he's 5.
Yeah,
I don't have no issue with this.
Yeah,
I don't know where the hate is all of a sudden. Like if maybe you should have just put him 6 just cause.
Yeah,
I don't see that. I don't see it. Everybody's up in arms over this. I have no idea why. I don't understand personally.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's looking at the list.
I think there's other things on the list that are far more pressing than that. Personally.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Everybody disagrees. Like I said, what I say in this situation pulls no weight because I play with them. So it's automatically
and your cousins.
It is what it is. Whatever.
All right. One more quick look, Ben. Anything crazy? All right, number 4, I have Adam Wenzel, who, I mean, maybe this will get a lot of crap too, but, I mean, makes plays on both sides of the ball. I have him like a no question top 5 player, like probably this number 1 corner in the league, maybe.
In my opinion, he has that. Him and Woods 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Adam is 1, I think. In that, I just think he's a true lockdown corner.
Yeah,
like you can put him on anybody and say man to man, and the guy's essentially taken out of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't do it often, but a lot of times if I'm drawing up a play against those guys, whoever I want getting the ball, I'll make sure that they're not on him. You know what I mean? Because he's just so good.
Yeah. No matter who I play with, if Adam's on me or on other than like Colin, other than him, like
sure.
I don't think I've seen many people beat.
And honestly,
Adam.
I throw into Colin even with him. I would still be very cautious, regardless of who
He's
I'm
so
throwing
long
to.
and like just so smart.
Yeah, he's fast too, real fast, and he can play offense. He doesn't play as much as maybe he should.
Yeah.
But he's got good hands, speed, route running. He does everything. He checks all the boxes, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Agreed. I mean, I'll probably get some hate for that, but no biggie. All right, number 3, I have Deuce, who is the best player in New England, in my opinion. So I mean, tournaments, worlds, like in these how many states we have in New England, he is the best player in the Northeast. Like he's by far the best player.
Sure.
But Bedford rules, I have 2 people above him.
Sure.
And I mean, I'm probably gonna get a lot of crap for that, but like number 3 isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying Deuce is a bad player. He makes
again
any
he's
C team
3,
better. He makes any
33.
team better.
You know what I mean? So again, it's tough to be 2 or it's 2 spots, right? It's not huge. It's not like the people you have above him are bums either, right? So it's tough.
Honestly, so Adam is a very good player. I have at number 4, Adam Wenzel.
Yeah.
Natty D's player, if no one knows who he is. But the top 3 guys, I think, are like there's Adam's great, but there is like there's a bigger gap between.
Sure.
Like you could have these guys 1A, 1B, 1C, and then it's 4. You know,
in Deuce, I mean, no one's gonna complain if you say he should be 1. No one's gonna be like, no, you're dumb, you're dumb. Yeah, no one's gonna say that. You know what I mean? And if you want to argue, I don't even want to get into the other names because I want to save it. But I'm sure most know what's coming. Ben, do you have anything over there or no? I thought I heard you say something. I didn't want to.
No, you're good.
Okay, yeah.
On this album, I'll take a look. Sorry, I'm having some.
No, you're good.
Some video issues.
Okay. Do we have any list issues?
A lot.
20 of them.
Yep.
LMAO, IO imaginary rounds of the podcast.
I don't know. What is that?
I think it's responding to something else.
Okay.
Definitely smoking shit.
What are we gonna do?
Colin is good, but ain't no way he's on Deuce's level as far as knowledge.
Kevin
who?
It's just Kevin McDonald.
I mean, so it's tough again because Deuce is probably more of a corner.
So again, corner receiver combo, and then you're looking at safety receiver combo. So there's a big difference there.
Trey says, "WTF am I hearing?"
I don't know either. I don't know what you're hearing, Trey. All right. Number 2, I have Colin, who makes the most impact on defense at any player in the building.
Yeah.
I say best defender in the building, but I mean, like if he's playing corner, maybe he's not better than Adam or Woods.
Yeah.
But he's the best safety in the building.
Yeah.
I'd say by far, but there is one player also that's very close to him. I'd say at safety. And then also like I can't like give you shit for throwing the ball to Cam in crunch time, and you throw to your best player in crunch time. Colin is the best player in leapers in crunch time.
Yep.
Garrett forces him the ball. You know, get your best player the ball.
Yep.
When the game's on the line, Colin's getting the ball, and everyone on the field should know it.
Yeah.
And he's still open. You know, he still gets open or makes a tough catch.
Yep.
Can go deep. Can make people miss.
That's the thing when we're talking top 5. A lot of these guys, if they're offensive guys. When you think, this team has the ball with 2 minutes left in the game, you know who's getting the ball for all of them. Deuce, you obviously are, like, at all times of the game, you have to be watching him. He's not someone you can be like, all right, he's not getting here. Like, he could get it any time, score over the top, underneath. Anyway, same thing with Colin. I know everybody, so it's you know with all these guys.
You could do 1-yard hitches down the field with Deuce and still
Yes.
score.
Yeah.
You could still drive the ball and score.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna make 1 or 2 people miss every single play.
Sure.
Colin won't be able to do that. I mean, he'll get a 1-yard catch, maybe make it 5. But I don't know. He just makes.
No, sure.
He's still a good player.
Yeah, no doubt.
Everyone has things that they're better at.
Yeah.
And some people have stuff that they're. Yeah.
Sure. So, no doubt.
Anything else, Ben, before I do number 1? That's probably a bunch. Did we drop off? Did like half people stop watching after I said Cam Loring?
It's increasing.
Wow.
It's increasing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Probably a bad thing. Steve, it says Steve gets these bums off the podcast. They don't even make sense.
Oh, fair man. Whatever.
All right. I mean, again, feel free to
Yeah, Kenny's Derek Hammond. This is what you created.
This is what he paid for.
Yeah. Hey, who's number 2 again? So I can.
I have Colin from the Leapers at number 2, and then Deuce at number 3. I think everyone knows who Deuce is.
See, now I feel like people shouldn't have an issue with who the top 3 is.
Agreed.
Now, you can complain in which the order they are, but in my opinion, these got to be the top 3 players in Bedford. In my opinion, there's other guys who I think are there, on the outside looking in, close. But I think these 3, like you said, separate themselves from the rest. Right?
Agreed. Yeah. And number 1, I have Johnny Granfield Jr.
Johnny Granfield. Okay.
Johnny for Natty D's, just all around two-way player.
Yeah.
The only reason I have him ahead of Colin is because he can throw and he's slightly more elusive. So when Colin has the ball in his hand, he does like a little hip shake.
Yeah,
it doesn't make a lot of people miss, but sometimes he'll get some yak. So again, Johnny can almost run around people.
Yeah.
Like he just
comparing, the top 3. Deuce is the best with the ball in his hands. Get the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? So I would say Johnny's probably the best. Throw it up with the game on the line. One-on-one. Give it to him. Yeah. Colin probably the best safety. So it's like all 3 of them do their own thing. Yeah. They're better at.
And I haven't watched Deuce play a lot of defense, which is just because I don't like.
And he can play. But no one's questioning that.
Steve says he's a lockdown corner, and I have no reason to doubt him.
Sure.
Probably corner-wise, Deuce is the best out of the 3, like man-on-man probably. And then Colin, I have best safety, then Johnny, then Deuce. Like. Yeah. If people want me to explain it more or something like that, I can figure a way to do some sort of ranking. But like, I don't know. I mean, Johnny, I think is Johnny can throw the ball. He can do anything.
Yeah. No
He's another dude that can play anywhere, and he could throw for a bad team. Like he played with just the Wenzels.
That team Takeoff, whatever they call it.
Yeah. It was just a bunch of their buddies, and then the 2 Wenzels and Johnny, and it was a disgusting team.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess they have the 1 and 4 player on that team. So, so that is the top 20. I don't even know what to say. People can hate. I don't care.
Yeah, like we'll give it a minute. We'll give it a minute to see if anything comes in with Ben over here. But
Ant says no, we want both of you to stop talking.
That's fair.
Does he really have an issue with Johnny Granfield being number 1?
Danny says Steve better be outside letting air out of Pike's tires.
See again. Why?
No.
Why me? Yeah. This is not my list. This is David's list. Let's remind everybody right now. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Pike liked to tag me in that post.
No, I kind of felt
this
bad.
This is Dave's list. Dave's list.
I made sure people knew.
That's fine. I made the list. I'm fine with taking whatever.
Danny says make a list of each team's game changers, what they do, and what they can offer in crunch.
Not a bad
idea. Danny, just message.
Actually, Danny should do that. We'll get him on the show.
I don't think most of these players in the top 20 carry a team.
Okay, well, I think. Okay,
Danny, just message me this so I can act. Yes. Like I'm not gonna I don't want to go back through all these comments. So just shoot me a message. I'll try to make a list.
Not revisiting the comments.
Yeah,
for sure.
bro. I'm gonna black out those comments. I'm never looking at this episode.
Deleting Facebook after this.
Delete the Tambo time account after this.
I think when you get to the A division, right? Did he say game changers? Is that what he said? Was that the word he used, Ben?
Yeah.
Game changers, and then
each team's game changers.
It would be interesting to see which teams have how many game changers too, right? I mean, obviously, when you get to the A division,
when you look at it, I mean, I have 2 Natty D's guys. I have Natty D's 1, 4, 11.
Yeah,
and that's it for Natty D's.
Yeah, and then
I have Leapers. I have Colin. I have Nick.
2 top 10s.
2 top 10 guys. I mean,
I think Nasty Boys has 2 top 10 when healthy. They have Adam and Tang. Carter's on the outside looking in, but he's right there. No one's,
Jeff is a nasty boy too, kind of.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Kenny asks, how do the top 4 out of 5? How do the top 4 out of 5 are the best 2-way players, and the best offensive player, and the best defensive players?
I mean, so best 2-way players. So Deuce, I think, is the best offensive player. Colin is the best defensive player.
Sure,
but Johnny is so freaking close.
I think you could argue he's.
But you could also
second in both. Right?
Yeah. So I think Colin's probably the 3rd best offensive player. Maybe Deuce is the 3rd best defensive player.
It does depend what offense you're in, right?
Agreed.
So it's hard to say like, if you take away, this player's quarterback, are they good? Like, all right, well maybe not as good, right? But it's that's a tough measuring stick. That it gets a little tricky there, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't.
And you can, and I don't like people saying like the connection thing, like
yeah,
like Pike and Cam play together. Like of course they're gonna have good chemistry together.
Yeah,
like Derek and Steve,
knock,
you know, like
right?
yeah, exactly, yeah, like that's not a bad thing
really
to have.
It's really not. I feel like it has for some reason become like a negative, you know, to have, you know,
chemistry with
a connection with somebody, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is what it is, you know?
Yeah. Like, Junior has chemistry with Duval and Tangway.
Yeah,
every team, whoever the quarterbacks
I'll
are.
ask you this,
what I mean?
hypothetical. Duval comes in. Where does he go at this list?
I think Duval is 4, but he's a lot closer.
If you put him at 4, he's in that top. That expands that from 3 to 4 in terms of
like that one time you made that terrible like elite, great, good list. You remember that one?
Oh wow! Yeah. Where was he on that? Was he in the good?
I don't know.
He was in the elite. I feel bad if he wasn't. I was dumb.
No, but no. Deuce is the 4th guy. Duval is the 4th guy on that list.
Ben, what you got?
A couple. Kenny says y'all. Let's see. It's like.
But again, outside
the same players on every list, give or take one.
Okay.
Ant says,
well, exactly. So
stop saying it depends on QBs and teams you play on.
It does a little bit.
If you're
a little
really
bit. Not crazy, but
if you really like that,
I agree with what he's saying to a point, right?
Agree, but also like
whoever.
Agree, but you also can't say like Cam's a bum if he doesn't have Pike. Like some people can
actually that used to be the narrative.
Yeah,
it used to be that it flipped. It's now the opposite. So it's like, all right, whatever. What are you gonna do? You know,
you played pretty well when you didn't have
all right.
it is what it is. D's.
Right? You know, taking away, being like, oh, if this team didn't have this player, it's like, well, you know, that's a whole nother argument, right? So
yeah,
it is what it is, though.
I mean, so he's trying to compare it to like maybe a tournament or something like that, but like Deuce plays with. Not Jimmy Lozon, but like those
type players.
Deuce used to play with Bailey every week or whatever. You know, like
now we're talking
so they still have chemistry.
If
like,
we're talking
you're making a tournament team,
your top 3 might be Duval, Deuce, and maybe Johnny or something like that, right?
Hanger,
so I mean, it might be different when you go switch over to that. So
agreed. So I mean, I'd like to see maybe like what would happen. Like, I mean, getting these 20 guys in a best of Bedford would be great.
I know, right?
And then
exactly
they can actually duke it out because obviously none of them are going to be on the same team. And then they're going to like
having quarterbacks draft these guys. I would be interested to see in the order in which they go.
I mean, so you let's say you have the number 1 pick.
If I have the number 1 pick, I'd take Johnny most likely.
Okay, you're not taking Cam because
probably not.
Okay.
I mean, again, I think he's great. I do, but I don't think he's God. I don't think he's better than. Like Duval,
good job,
is better than him.
That was a test.
Johnny is better than him.
Yeah,
I actually do think Colin is closer to Cam than maybe other people think. You'll disagree.
Closer to Cam.
I think he's a little bit closer to Cam than some people think. I think they're two.
You mean Cam is closer to Colin?
Sorry. Yes. Well. Okay. Yes. You get what I'm saying.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
I thought you were flipping.
Yeah. No. You get what I'm saying. But anyway, that's hypothetical. But. Then you really see what people think, right? Where do they go, right?
I mean, some of these. So like Johnny doesn't play in a lot of tournaments. He played for UGK for a while. Played really well for them, obviously. Yeah. He went to Florida Worlds and played with athletes. In pro, like he's a pro player.
Yeah.
I mean, Collins played a couple tournaments and. I mean, makes people look stupid. Like people don't play against Colin enough, so they don't know how good he is.
Yeah, sneaky talent.
I think Matt Bailey threw 4 picks to him in the championship. In that one time Colin played in it. I mean, and then I can't say one game, but at the same time, like these people can do stuff in tournaments. But I mean, if this is a tournament draft, like it's different. And I did a list for best outside of Bedford players, maybe, or best tournament players. I don't remember how I worded it.
You did do that. I mean, something like that.
If you're outside of Bedford, Deuce is clearly not number 1 player. I think.
No doubt, right?
Oh boy.
God, stinks like sex in here.
Dun, 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 dun,
He's back.
Who the hell is blowing up the Wi-Fi because our stream is dying?
It's these idiots all playing Fortnite.
Everyone playing Fortnite here. Yeah. I got you. I'll move you over.
Are you coming on?
I got about 20 minutes to go.
Just in time. In time.
Why? What are we working
Were you listening or no?
No, I couldn't.
Okay. Yeah, we just.
You're walking into a shit show.
We just capped off the top 20.
You can pull that whole thing out.
Right by the camera's right there, by the way.
Okay.
Why don't we rip through?
So I just do top 5 again?
Wait. No.
6?
Why don't we go through? Why don't we go through maybe the top 20. Just quick recap name. Steve says higher or lower in terms of where he thinks the person should be.
Is that the bit you came up with?
Just now, yes.
All right, 20.
All right, now it's on.
20 is Joe Hafto.
Okay. I'd probably.
Obviously, you don't have to say for every player. You could say fair.
That was your bit. I know I can say fair.
Stay. You know.
Yeah.
Nah,
sure.
Maybe stayish. I think he should be higher, in my opinion, because he's so well rounded. This is top 20.
Yep.
Both sides. Yeah, two-way players.
Yep.
They're probably higher, to be honest, but I would have to see a list of everybody.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say higher.
Jamal at 19.
Higher.
Jay at 18.
Now, I would put him higher, but in reality of not having any A-division offensive experience, I'm taking him off that list.
Okay.
Only based on that list.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, he potentially could be. We'll see what he, see what he has on offense.
Yep. Gavin at 17.
Get him out of there.
Okay. Booth at 16, which
Get him out of there.
yeah.
Wow. Two
Again, though, no, I like that
Back
you're
to back.
doing though like A-level offense defense.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Which like obviously Booth can play offense on a Zoom team, but maybe he's not playing.
Anyone can play offense on a division team. Now, can you be great? Not everybody can do that, right? Anybody can get in and play, but
also I'm glad you kicked some people off the list because I at first thought you were gonna say higher.
yeah, exactly.
No, I mean,
who do we have?
yeah, exactly.
Gavin, I don't think has the A-division defense experience.
Yeah.
And I don't think he plays at that top A-level defense when he's there.
Okay.
If he did, yes, I'd have him on the top list. Offensively, he's a weapon for sure.
Yep.
No, Booth, get him out of there.
Yep. And then I have Franklin at 15.
I'd probably put him higher, to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
I'd put him higher. I think he's, and he might not like this, but I think he's way more of a threat on defense. I think at times in the A division than offense.
Agreed.
I just think he's adjusting to 5-on-5. Him and Jake have been clicking lately, but the adjustment from the open field, the 7-on-7s, the tackle football is different from the 5-on-5.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's where he maybe struggles a little bit. But no, I think if he rounds that out, he top 10 for sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy to say that Franklin is getting better. Like,
I know.
Like to say
Well, he's still very new.
That high
right.
is getting better.
Really.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I have Kevin, which I guess is probably going to be off or lower.
I'd put him off in this case. I mean, yes, he's so dominant on one side of the ball, and he really is a game changer.
Yep.
But as far as two-way players go, sorry, TackieBar.com. Love you, buddy.
Yep. Trey at 13.
I'd put him higher.
Okay.
Now, wait. Now, do you have Trey just came up to me the other day and said, he goes, it's funny. He's like, Nasty Boys hasn't won ever since I left. Do you have anything to, dispute that?
We won before he was there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
no,
we won on Mondays without him, and we've been in 3 straight finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
so sure.
I mean, he won't rip on his own Mambas team.
Actually, no, he plays on Mondays still. Never
Right.
mind. Okay, I can take that back.
And I said, too, I said, a lot of it, they're still a great team without him. Like, there's no doubt, no one questions that. But I said a lot of times if you don't have that solidified, no doubt, wide receiver one, which I think Trey is, it gets harder, right?
Yeah.
It gets harder in the red zone. It gets harder on third down. Everything becomes harder. And obviously, you with a lot of times you guys succeed even without that true dominant wide receiver one. But I think not having Trey is definitely an impact.
Yeah,
what I mean?
what I think really hurt us as far as Trey moving away was the timing of everything. We lose Kenny, we lose Adam.
Your
we
defense
just
is where Trey hurt you more.
Right, and not that he's not an offensive weapon, and quite frankly, if you were able to watch all the championship games, you would see he made big plays at big times, and we were clicking a lot. I think against Gumby's per se, who you guys are a big, physical, strong team, but sometimes I would say athleticism as far as jump balls. Maybe not the best, even though we've seen it before. You don't need to be the most athletic person to do jump balls very well or defend them.
Yeah.
I just think in our us versus you scenario, it's that hurts us come red zone if I decide to throw those, which I don't throw them that much. You know what I mean?
I feel like it really only comes when you got the matchup you like, and maybe you don't have something you love.
Right.
Because then if you can guarantee one-on-one with him, you take that chance, right? So for sure.
Yeah. Then I have Carter at 12.
So
I'd put him lower. Jay Charles is gonna fucking hate it.
This one,
So I will say, so as Steve Steve's criteria, which is honestly a very good criteria looking back at it. Carter doesn't play defense really at an A team. He plays at an A level, but he doesn't play defense on a A or a top team. You know what I mean? So Carter is a weapon on offense, like probably the best route runner in the building. But defensively, I can see maybe he's not up.
Yeah, like I said, he reminds me a lot of.
He's still a good defensive player.
He can. The potential's there.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen him. Like on my teams, he doesn't really play defense there.
He was forced into last time because of injuries.
Right, and he didn't play horrible.
No,
right?
He played
you know
fine.
What I mean?
He
wasn't some person
Nothing
we
was
picked
free
on.
over there.
Right.
Nothing was free over there.
Right,
For sure.
but when he's not on my team, he tends to not be in the A division, so you don't really see that what he's capable of doing. So in my personal opinion, would I put him up there? Yes, but based on the rules to this list,
and
I'd put him lower.
That's what people took issue with most.
What do you need my phone for?
Is him being number 12, right? And so it's tough to say. If you're only arguing 2 to 3 spots, it's ticky tacky, right? So it's tough to say. But for sure.
So and then I have 11 as Dylan Poirier, the rusher for Natty D's.
Yeah, I'd probably put him lower, but I definitely keep him on the list because you can be one-dimensional on offense, which I'm not saying he is, but he is a game changer just at flies on the outside.
Yeah.
Him and Johnny Sr. have a great connection with that.
Yeah.
And he is just so fast to where, a lot of times when guys come off the bench, people are like, all right, he's just filling in. It's going to go, you're looking at Johnny, you're looking at one of the Wenzel brothers. You think it's going to go to them. He loves to go to a center. So you really don't know. And then all of a sudden, boom, he takes off, and you're a step behind. You're like, crap. And then it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen him do it so many times to my own teams and other teams. But unfortunately, I think that's really where he is his strength in the A division is. To me, I need a receiver who can do a little more at times, but he's not a full-time offensive guy on that team. So he comes off the bench, he does a role, and that's fine. And he is probably definitely number 2 in the league in rushing, in my opinion, and he just really disrupts timing quarterbacks. Me. Everything has to happen so much faster, and it's just against that defense. It's tough. But yeah, I definitely have him probably on top 20, but I'd probably put him lower.
Then I have Vance at 10.
I'd probably put him a little higher, just because I've seen the capabilities of what Vance can do. He literally can play every position in the A division except quarterback
too.
Right.
Not to mention,
he can rush him, middle safety, any position ever. See, he can snap.
Yeah, I think I've seen it all at Worlds too, like on the biggest stage. You can do it everywhere.
I'd probably put him higher.
Yeah, which I can see. All right, and then I have Tangway at 9.
Yeah, I like him there. I think he's great at a lot. I don't think he's the best at any one thing.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And then I have Nick Cutler at 8.
Yeah, I like him there.
Okay. Probably Jeff Andon at 7.
I would drop him.
Okay. Lower, I'm guessing not off.
He's probably on the bubble, depending on if I see if I had the whole list of Bedford players, he might be on the bubble.
Yeah.
And I love Jeff, and he's going down the world with us, and at tournaments I see a different side of him, which is I love it.
Possible.
I love it.
Possible.
But I just think offensively he's too green.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, I think his speed makes up for
I think
lack of being in the right place or knowing what to do.
Okay.
But couple years from now, for sure, I think it's not even a debate. He probably easily top 10.
Yep.
But right now, no. He might be on that bubble. He might be off, depending on who I see.
Yep. All right, and then I have Adam at 6.
Tambo.
Drop him way down. No, I mean Adam can do it all, and I mean he.
But you're saying lower though?
No.
You're saying
no.
Stay.
Yeah, if he could be a better center, I would say for sure stay or move up. But he can run great routes from center. Can't play center very well. But every other position he can play great or even better at. Even quarterback at times in the A division, he can figure it out, for somebody who's never really played quarterback.
That's one of the reasons I have him so high, because he can do everything. Like Bad Batch, I'm pretty sure he threw a lot for. Like he's thrown for 8 teams. He's won an A championship at kinda quarterback, whatever, quarterback 2, whatever you want to call it. And then obviously plays defense for the best team for the past 2 years. So
Sure.
Yeah, and he's always making plays on both sides of the ball, and he is a weapon. You have to respect him everywhere. And our 5 championships in a row, he made plays defensively, offensively. I mean, he got the overtime big catch on Wenzel, which was obviously the game winner there. And defensively, they got a couple stops with him out there to win the game. So he's a money. When game's on the line, I mean, he made the play down at Worlds to win the fucking ring. So a lot of times with game on the line, he's fucking money.
Yep.
Yeah. He does have a case of the dropsies every now and again, but I feel like it's never in the big moments.
No.
It's always like
I don't think
it's always like first and goal.
Right, right.
First and
I don't know if I've ever seen him drop.
Important.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Since he was, I swear, he was like 8 years old and dropped a 2-point conversion to tie the championship game for his thing, and he cried when he dropped it, and I felt so bad. I think that's the last time I think that's the last time I've ever seen him drop a ball at the end of the game.
Yeah. And then 5, I have Cam Loring.
Yeah, I like him there. I think he's proved himself for sure. I think he can do it on both sides of the ball. Can't play every position, I think, but the ones he does, he's so dominant on, and he's established. We can all agree safety is a very important position on defense. Arguably the best or most important. But offensively, he's a huge target, great hands. The kid, he really doesn't miss many flags. He's very good at flag.
And that used to be the thing about
Doesn't
him,
make
like,
people miss.
Well, yeah, that's it.
I'll say he doesn't.
45 elusiveness.
He's not a guy I want.
Isn't that what he said? Yeah, on the show.
Yeah.
He maybe made one person miss.
He's not a guy I necessarily want to be one-on-one with some of these top offensive players, though. I will say that, and I don't want Reagan like Johnny or Colin running at him one-on-one. I don't always trust him to get a body in front and get the flag. Right? There's guys like
there's times
Jay
Cam,
Burris,
honestly,
Adam Wenzel. I mean, all of those guys, I think, like, they're like assured they're not going to miss the flag. You know what I mean?
Cam covers a lot of ground. Good flag puller.
Yeah.
There is times he'll play like soft at DB, won't stick his nose in, which is weird because he'll do it on offense.
Exactly.
If the ball's in the air and Adam or Jay or someone is like on his back or like going for the ball, he's gonna go up and sometimes out jump or outplay those guys. Sure. But on defense, if the ball's in the air, sometimes he just shies away from it. But I mean, still like a
maybe it's that whole kind of offense has the right to the ball to the point. You're not trying to draw a penalty. Maybe that's it.
Or
I mean, he's
stuff like that.
0% of a dirty player, so he's never taken a shot at somebody like that.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I don't really like. I mean, I love Joe, and Joe's done some stupid things, but there's not a lot of like dirty players in Bedford.
For sure.
It's hard to be one, right? I mean,
you could. No, you could.
You can.
I mean, in my time in Bedford, 6 years, like I've never come across somebody that's hitting someone after the play, or the most physical I've ever seen somebody is Jay but he is far from that, right?
Yeah.
So in my experience and time here, I haven't seen it.
Just think it's a lot of us see each other every week. All fucking
exactly,
year. So
I mean,
like,
Joe's done some stupid shit. I love Joe, but I mean, like, there's a time he pushed Adam and stuff like that. I was pretty pissed about that. I know you guys obviously were, and then
we talked about it. It is what it is.
Yeah, Kevin's done some stupid shit.
Right.
Like, we've all done stupid shit.
Back with Don throwing?
I have no idea. I think it might have been Leapers.
Oh, Leapers, yeah.
But either way, it's not. But water under the bridge.
The cam picks where the comments started blowing up.
Yeah, agreed. So I mean, people,
that was it.
What are they
some
saying?
people were hating on Adam too being that high.
No, Ant
all
said.
Over the place. Yeah,
Ant
really
took a problem with. I think was it Vance being, or someone. I forget. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Ant said Adam should not be higher than Vance or
Tang.
or
Was it
Woods.
Tang? Okay, it was Woods. It was one of them. Maybe all three of them.
All three of them. Yeah, I mean,
Ant Williams or
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know if he's seen Adam in as much of these spots, and
I don't think
it's
so.
Bedford. Like,
Ant says Trey Sadler's top 5 in Bedford, no discussion.
says who?
Yeah.
That version that we got.
Ant, yeah.
That version that we got of him the other day. I don't think I wouldn't disagree, right? But you don't get that every week. You just don't. I don't know why. But it's just consistency with him in playing like that every week.
He's the other guy that sometimes gets a case of the dropsies. Like he's like I mean everyone does it, but like there's times I remember like not big times in games, but I remember we playing and he dropped like a wide open post over the middle.
Who was this?
Trey.
Oh.
And he comes back and someone got a hand on it. I was like, no one's even fucking close to you.
No, there was one. It was so funny. There was one time he had a bunch of drops, and it was like a regular season game. Didn't matter. I just everything all right. He goes, I think I got too high. It just was funny.
I mean, he could be. I mean,
when he's in it, he's in it. It's and
agreed.
You know, and sometimes it's unfair, but you know. This is why I give Deuce so much credit because I know what he's capable of doing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We can't give one person credit, not the other, when we know what they're capable of doing.
Agreed.
And we know how hard it is to stay motivated for Bedford every week. Playing the same people. It feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, Ant makes a good point. I think Ant hasn't seen Adam play in a while. And if you're comparing, you know, Advance and Adam and Tangway and Adam, like I get it, you know. In Bedford, Adam has a case. You know, the other leagues, maybe not yet for sure, but.
All right, and then I have 4. I have Adam Wenzel.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with him there.
3, I have Deuce.
I'm okay.
I have Colin at 2.
And then Johnny at 1.
And Johnny at 1.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the lists we've always done is the top 3. Those are the top 3 guys. And everybody can make an argument for who's number 1, who's number 2, number 3. And if any of those guys are on your team, I don't think you lose in any manner. You know what I mean?
No.
It's a win-win scenario on both sides of the ball for those guys. It's very impressive on what those guys can do. And they're all a little different. They're not the same player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is impressive. But they're both, all 3 of them are just on both sides of the ball are so dominant. And it's actually impressive, the talent level. Where it's come a long way in Bedford over the years.
Yeah, and we were saying before you got in, like those 3 are it's 1A, 1B, 1C.
Yeah.
After that, like I mean, Adam Wenzel's a great player. Like when Duval's around, he's a great player. But I think those 3 are like slightly ahead, and then Duval might be that.
I think if
that
Duval
guy
enters, I think he's for sure in that top 4. I think there's now 4 guys that are here, and then there's the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the tier list. I like the tier list because you know what I mean. It eliminates the, well, we're going to take, you know, number 7 and compare them to number 3, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
But the list, they are what they are. We got a couple in the works, but
I will say the top 6 you agreed with. Jeff at 7, you said lower or
and
maybe
a kid
off.
that I think I know, like obviously Red, right? You know, he plays now. He would probably be in this. And another one is Josh Gannon, another kid that I think is a freak. Both sides of the ball, I think. I mean, defensively, he's not sound as sound as some of these guys, but I think, like you said, his athleticism and speed and physicality makes up for, you know, some of those things. But those are 2 guys off the top of my head, without thinking too hard, that I think would be in this for sure.
Yeah. And again, so Josh isn't a bad player on defense, but when he's on that nasty boy defense, he is the one that would want to target the most. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to put
someone's got to get thrown at over there.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Yeah, but he's come a long way since that time, I think. And
sure.
He went down to Ohio with us. He was really Tangway was really our number 1 guy down in Ohio, and it wasn't even close. But Josh Gannon
offensively
and defensively, like it's just it was very obvious they were keying on Tangway on defense and not throwing his way on offense. And that's not a knock on our other guys. They played good. It's just Tangway. I saw a different Tangway that weekend, and I was so happy he came out and he worked so hard and
he's a baller everywhere he goes.
Yeah, for sure. He never a lack of effort with him, and but that was that you know. And that's the tournaments where you see these different sides of people that you don't really see, and you appreciate the talent level. But I do have to get rocking and rolling to this next draft. It's going to start in a few minutes.
I think I think we covered everything anyway.
Yeah, that was the top 20 list. I mean, nothing really going on. Obviously, nothing tonight in
Playoffs
Bedford.
Next week, don't have the schedule, right? So it's hard to say.
No.
But one thing you do notice is in this top 20, the top 4 teams on Wednesdays, right? They all have multiple people in this list, right?
Yeah.
So it is tough. It is tough to get in the top 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That seems like the recipe for it, right?
Yeah. I mean, so top 20. I mean, there's other than the top what did we say the top 4 teams were? Nasty Boys, Natty D's, Gumby's, Leapers.
You got to throw the North.
And
yeah, the North.
The North has been playing so well. So
I didn't include them just because they're not in the session. That's why I did 4.
I was gonna say, let's say the Power
5 still remain.
The Power 5 teams, I guess, like the best 5 teams. They all have 2+ players on here. Gavin. Let me just double check here. Obviously, he was saying Gavin should be off the list. Gavin and Vance are the only ones, and Deuce, that aren't on one of those 5 teams.
Sure. Right, exactly.
What did I say? Gavin, Vance, and Deuce.
Yeah.
So it's 3 guys, but I mean, Vance plays on an A championship team on Mondays.
Yeah.
Vance is just getting back into Bedford again, so I mean, he'll be on one of these top teams again soon, I'd imagine. And then who was the last one? Gavin. I mean, Gavin plays A's on Monday, so I mean, I don't want to say my list is biased because I'm on one of those top 5 teams, and I see, I play those players all the time. But I mean, if you want to be on one of these lists, make it to the A division. However you got to do it. I mean,
yeah, I mean, we try to spread the list out, get the love to the other divisions.
Yeah, but and you guys have made lists for other divisions and stuff like that, and maybe like the lower. But I mean, Steve will say I play only C division teams, but I don't play enough of those lower division teams to know who those secret weapons are, the underrated people are. I mean, I was saying earlier, David Hamilton's an underrated guy that's on a lower team that, I mean, he should be on an A team, but there's probably a handful of guys that are on one of those lower teams that could be a top 20 guy both ways, but they just don't. I just don't see them enough. We don't see them enough. You know what I mean? So
or their team just is not at
or
that
the rest
level.
of their team isn't on that.
And
level.
it's not a knock on any of these teams. The B division's been better than for a long time. I mean, I felt for a long time if Gumby's were B, they were smoking the whole division. If Direct TDs were there, they were smoking the whole division. And that was years ago. Now it kind of changed. But the B division is very good still, and it's just hard to crack that top A. And we've all played those top B division teams. If we see a standout, and we know who it is. We all know.
I mean, like Cheeks is probably on. But I haven't seen him in a while. I mean, he's one of those guys that are up there. There's some good B level talent and C level talent, but it's just I don't see him enough.
Cheeks got hurt, so he was out for a little while. I think
that's what I was thinking. I feel like I haven't seen him in a while. And then is it Flight? Flip the Bird is the team that's in now. I haven't seen Pickle Dicks in a while. Like Jordan Perdomo before he was injured is another guy that could be on there.
He could be debatably top 20, man. I mean, when we played you guys in that Best of Bedford.
Oh, I'd say so. Yeah, when he's healthy, so,
he is. Yeah, and
Jordan
center.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was a feature guy on that offense, and that's kind of really where I found out about him, right?
Yeah.
So.
But a lot of times doing the list, it is kind of the current,
Yeah. No. Sure.
I mean, so like Vance, obviously, like Vance and Deuce are 1A, 1B, top talent New England, like all time, but. I can't say Vance is a top 3 player right now just from him playing with Entity. Like, I mean, back when he was with the Nasty Boys, like he was obviously up there. I made a list 2 years ago, and I'm pretty sure he was in the top 5. So it's tough moving these guys around.
Anything interesting over there? No, pretty dead.
No.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees with Steve now that he's on.
Yep, I love it.
Weird.
You're so cool.
Weird how that happened.
45 minutes ago.
What? For what reason?
You know what? Everyone turned it off before Steve got in here. That's probably why.
Kevin did say I figured it out. They smoked up Steve before having him on.
Ben, how many comments do we have overall total?
156.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Look at that. Yes, sir.
I don't know what the normal is. What's the average?
For comments?
Yeah.
That's
no idea.
That's definitely getting up there.
That was the goal. We're not going to bring the views, so we got to bring the comments. So I'll take it.
No, that's good. But I do got a jet, ladies and gentlemen. So
yeah, no,
have fun.
Down.
Huh?
Yeah.
Ready to wind down?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys want to end the show then?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening to Tambo Time. Sorry I couldn't been here the whole show. Unfortunately, we're drafting for Worlds, and I got 2 minutes to get to my next draft. So, love you guys. Good night, Grace.
T, Pike, and Steve-O, fooling on the pod. Talking about Bedford, which A-team is a fraud. Making top 10 lists, hella controversy. Don't be playing cheap, tuck in that jersey. Getting new sweatshirts, A-Division dub. Tune in every Tuesday, drop a like and sub. Hey.